Morning. Today we are continuing with our class on profit and loss account, and we are going into the gross profit section once again. Now, gross profit is known as the profit, and that is given for the manufacturing account. Now, the manufacturing account, as we know, or the manufacturing or the main portion of the account is for say the uh, uh, say the direct wages, direct wages, raw materials, then electricity, etc., which are directly related to the production of the materials, the opening stock, the closing stock, the purchase of raw materials, the carriage inwards, etc. Now, from that we get the gross profit. Now we have this the sales less the sales returns, and then less the opening stock and purchases, carriage inwards, wages, etc. We have the gross profit. Now, this gross profit, however, is not the final amount. We have the gross profit carried forward. That is, we are carrying it forward to the next portion of the profit and loss account, that is balance forwarded from the trading account. Then we add other income. Now, in some other income, we have the discount received, we have the commission received, we have the non-trading income, we have interest received, we have bad debts recovered, rent received, and profit and sale of assets. Now, what is this? We'll discuss each item separately. What is discount received? Now, say if you have purchased something, some raw materials from a supplier, and that supplier has allowed you discount, you can then you can adjust it over here. The discount received over here, when I adjust it over here, or you can adjust it over here, or you may set up a separate say discount received and discount allowed account, and you may take the balancing figure from that portion and include it here. The commission received. Commission means if you are acting as an agent for some other party along with your business income, then you will also get commission for that. So that is commission received. Now, non-trading income means say if you have you sold any capital asset, for any sold any machinery, which say the return on value of that machinery is lower than the sales of the scrap value of that machinery, and um, return on value and the scrap value of that machinery, return down value and the scrap value of that machinery, and return down value of the scrap value of that machinery. And what we have is um, uh, a capital profit. So we can include it over here. Now, interest received, interest on fixed deposits, interest on bad debts, interest on fixed deposit, interest on any other kind of investments or etc. that is received, or debentures etc. that is received by the company. And we have bad debts recovered. Now, previously, we have deducted bad debts as irrecoverable from the profit and loss account, and that was allowed by the income tax authorities. Now, if for some instance that bad debt is recovered, means that some of the party which previously could not pay, now they are paying off, then we have to write it as bad debts recovered. Means we have to add that amount back as income since it was allowed as a deduction previously. Rent received, if you have which also generally falls under non-trading income, but it is separate, set as a separate account because rent account is a separate from is a separate account by itself. So rent means you have placed some place on rent, and you are earning that rent. Now, profit on sale of assets. Now, this is not the same as non-trading income because profit on sale of assets means profit on sale of fixed assets such as land, building, etc. Now, then you have to deduct certain expenses also. Now, what are those expenses? Those expenses are, say, administrative expenses. Now, administrative expenses include office salaries. What are office salaries? Office salaries are those salaries that mm, office salaries are those salaries, say, for the accountant, for the general manager, or other persons who are not directly related to the factory itself, but they perform other functions for the companies. So these are administrative expenses. Postage and telephone, so telephone expenses, postal charges, and all, for sending letters and all that. Traveling and conveyance. So if you're a marketing person, he is going out to sell certain objects, mm, sell certain objects, and then mm, for uh, mm, for sell certain objects and uh, mm, 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 for selling certain of your company items, then you'll have to reimburse that amount to that person. That is, or yeah, some person is traveling for some company related job, then you have to reimburse him for that job. So that is for traveling and conveniences. Legal charges means if the company is fighting out a legal battle and you are paying the lawyer certain amount of money, then those amount will go as illegal charges for that company. Legal charges for that company. Now, if we have the office rent, means if the office space is not yours and you are having to pay the office rent, then you will have to separately state that. Now, as again, if you are having two accounts, rent received and rent paid, you can square it off and either write it down as an expense or as an income. Then you have the depreciation on all your capital assets, fixed assets, etc. Audit fees, if you need your accounts to be audited, then you must include your audit fees or fees paid for getting your accounts checked. Insurance charges, any charges paid as insurance or for the company, for the fire, for the company premises, for stocks, for goods sent, for fire insurance, for medical insurance of the employees and their families, etc. Then we have repairs and renewals, any kind of repairs, renewals, maintenance charges, everything they will be included in this administrative expenses. Now, along with administrative expenses, we have selling and distribution expenses which have not been included in the gross profit. Now we have advertisement, we have carriage outward. Carriage outward means the expenses for carrying the sold goods for carrying the goods out from the factory to the distributors or wholesalers. Then we have free samples. This applies specifically for, say, companies selling medicines and all that. Then we have to deduct the bad debts that have been incurred by the company, and from the bad debts we have to deduct the sales commission. Now, what is the sales commission? Say for every kind of sales, for a certain amount of range of sales. Now, what do I mean by a range of sales? Range of sales means um, that the company is allowing, and the range of sales means that the company is allowing a certain range of sales company is allowing a certain range of sales for the companies allowing a certain range of sales. Now, say for if you are selling say more than 100 items, you are getting 1% commission. If you are selling more than 150 items, you are getting 2% commission. This is over and above the salaries that is paid to that person. This is a kind of incentive that is paid by the company into its employees. Now, this is all for the day. We'll start with the specific pro forma of the profit and loss account in our next session. Thank you.